G'day, I'm Garry Pye. Facial animation, a very important part of bringing your actors to life in Cartoon Animator. And I gotta tell you, for 2D flat characters, Cartoon Animator does the most amazing job, thanks to 360 head creation, of taking a flat character and making it look like a 3D character. Having that head turn in all different ways, it's amazing. But you can have control over every little aspect of your character's face, for all the muscle movement and eye movement and blinking and you name it. You can have total control over all of that. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take a clip of a character I have that already has audio applied, and we're going to do some facial animation on it to match the audio. So let's go across to Cartoon Animator and take a look. Okay, so on screen we have Clang, and you can see down here on the voice clip timeline that I already have all the audio in and all the lip syncing done, and the clip runs like this.
Garry Pye makes great tutorials for Cartoon Animator.
Now that's fine, but the character is not moving, he's not doing anything, he's just sitting there stiff as a board. There's no personality to the face. So I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do in this video, but I'm going to give him some facial animation and a little bit of body movement that just might make him look a little bit more natural when he delivers that dialogue. So let's get straight into it. Now, first of all, when I'm working with a character's face, if there's anything over the face like the helmet, turn it off. We can put it back in later on, no problem there. Okay, so listen to the clip again. Actually, you know what? I wouldn't have him start with that stare on his face like that. Let's change the eye sprites to casual. There we go, much better already. Okay, so.
Garry Pye makes great tutorials for Cartoon Animator.
By the way, you're going to get so sick of hearing that voice clip, because sometimes when I do animation like this, I'll listen to a clip 200-300 times. I have to close my office door so I don't drive my family insane, because it's the one piece of dialogue over and over and over. Doesn't bother me, but it does bother other people. Okay, so, oh, the other thing. Often when I do dialogue, I will act it out. So when he says Garry Pye, this is a hard one because it's a very flat read, but when he says Garry Pye makes great tutorials for Cartoon Animator, at the end he does go up. So therefore I would expect the head to go Cartoon Animator, that he would actually take it up or sort of point and go Cartoon Animator like that. That's what I would assume.
Garry Pye makes...
Yeah. So...
Garry Pye makes great tutorials for Cartoon Animator.
All right. Let's start off by doing a little bit of head motion. To do some head motion, we're on the face, aren't we? Okay, we're on the face. Let's go to facial clip. Okay, on the facial clip, we have 3 timelines: head, face, and eye. Each of those controls a different part of just the face. The head is solely responsible for the rotation of the head. The face, that's responsible for any movement of any parts on the face, like the shape of the eyes, the eyebrows, the mouth, things like that. The eye timeline is responsible solely for the movement of the iris, left and right, up and down. I have made another tutorial on the eye timeline, so get to that and you can have a look in more detail. So each time there's our little gizmo, head rotator gizmo, that we can rotate Clang's head around anywhere. Because when we talk, we don't generally just talk with our face completely still. Even when we're just delivering normal dialogue, you'll still move your head around. So that's what we need to do. We need to move his head around. So each time we move forward, once we move that gizmo, it's going to put a keyframe on the head track. Okay? So how fast he's going to move, I don't know. But let's just get a little bit of movement going. If you put some movement in, you can always go back and edit it. That's, you know what? Here's a really good point. One of the things that's fantastic about Cartoon Animator is normally if you do 2D animation, let's say you do it with a pencil and paper. If you do 2D animation, you draw it, you draw it, you draw it, and you get to 100 frames and you look back at frame 17 and you go, oh, I could have done it better. I made a mistake. I wish I would have changed it. You can't go back in time and change it. But with Cartoon Animator, you can go back 1,000,000 times through your animation and change and tweak all the little parts until you get it exactly where you want. That's a really cool thing. Okay, so we've added a little tiny bit of motion, right? Okay, here we go. Also, I'm thinking maybe at the pace that this guy talks, I'm thinking maybe between 5 and 10 frames for each time he moves his head is probably going to be enough, because you don't want him having to talk and move around like a slug. You actually want him bobbing around. So, yeah, 5. Do it at 5 frames. Trust me. Here we go. Okay, so once he says Garry Pye, see now, when you go up on a sound, I'll tilt the head back a little bit, right? So, tilt it back just a fraction. Oh, I meant to do it at a frame 10. You can drag and drop your frames. Now, Garry. Once he comes back down. Okay, so. Right, okay. Maybe not even that far, because we're going to go up again. Okay, now that's fine where it is. At any point along the timeline that you're happy with the head staying from where it was to before, just hit V on the keyboard. It's going to throw in a keyframe for you so that the head won't move between that section. Now when he says Pye, okay, move back 1, stay on the 5s. I want him to just, this time he can actually rotate his head back a little bit and tilt it back. And then bring it back. Here we go. No, that's too harsh. He flicks it too hard. Also, if you want to take this keyframe and move it forward, you can't, because you need this little blue bounding box of the head movement first. So the easiest thing to do is to move forward, hit the V key. That'll put in a keyframe, highlight it, delete it. Now you've extended your box. Good tip. You can just move your keyframes along there. So there we go. That's better. It's the little pie, Garry Pye. See, now isn't that interesting? That one's just a little bit too long, too short, so we'll make it a little bit longer. Here we go. You know what? It is tedious. I get it. And you might be watching it going, I'm not putting in that much effort. That's okay. You don't have to. But if you don't, you're not going to get the same results. You're not going to get that nice, smooth motion. If you want it, you've got to put the time in. This is what I sit here doing all day, every day when I animate, is keyframing like this. Go backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. I happen to love it. If you don't love it, you need to be a bricklayer or a roof painter or something, because this ain't for you. Here we go.
Garry Pye
makes. Garry, because he says Garry Pye makes, I'd have him sort of twist the head a bit. Right. Makes. And usually, if you tilt your head one way, the next time you'll tilt it the other. So we'll go that way, and we'll go up this way a little bit. Here we go. I love that. You know what? Just let me stop for 1 second. You know what else I love? Watch the top of his head here, because the Alien Squad characters have spring bones built into the top of their heads, so it makes them look like they've got little jelly heads. And the spring bones, of course, are my favorite, as you know, my absolute favorite feature of Cartoon Animator 5, because it's all automated. So once you put a spring bone in, I don't have to make that head wobble and think, oh, I better make to do that. It does it automatically, and that's fantastic. Here we go. See the little wobble? Watch it again. Wait for it. I love that. So subtle. And you'll see it on the antenna as well sometimes. Here we go. Sorry. Okay. Okay, we'll leave that there. Hit the V key. So see, now I'm starting to work out this character's personality, right? By the way he talks, I'm starting to get the feeling now that as he's talking, he's doing this as he's talking. So that's what I'll throw into the character now. As he talks, he's going to swing this way, and then he's going to swing that way on the next sentence. So when he says great, he's going to go back the other way. Let's have a look. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Great. On there, V key, puts in your keyframe because we want him to hold there. Oh, here's a good tip. When you're doing head movement, if the head moves to the side, have an extra couple of frames to hold in that position before it comes back. Otherwise, it ends up being too smooth and it goes there to there, and that's not how we move. If I'm going to look over there, I'm not going to go over there and straight back again. You look over, you look back, there's that little pause. So always give yourself a few keyframes in between. Now, with tutorials, I'm going to bring his head down as if he is coming to camera. Right, 2, 4. Straight away, he's going to go back again because it's tutorials. See, now look at that. You can hold that for near 20 frames. Well, what is it, 60, 15? You can hold that for 15 frames. Because there's another thing. You don't want the head moving all the time. You don't want a character doing this because you're gonna drive people crazy. You want subtle motion, but every now and then, even like when you talk, every now and then you'll hold and you'll make your point, and then you'll start moving again. It's like a class in acting. That's what you're doing. You're putting a performance into these characters. Here we go. Sorry.
Garry Pye makes great tutorials.
Good. For Cartoon Animator. Okay. Once he's got his head back, he needs to bring it forward again. So here, you'll notice also now I'm not sticking exactly to the 5. Oh, I bet I do. I bet if I put that on there, that was the point I wanted. All right. Bring it down. Ah, because he's going to go for cartoon. He's going to have to go back up. Ah, a little bit of forward thinking. A little bit of forward thinking. What if he starts and he's just standing there casual and he goes, Garry Pye makes great tutorials for Cartoon Animator, and puts his hand up. Now, if he does that, we're going to have to sort of elevate him up. So he's going to have to go up into Cartoon Animator. We'll do that body movement as well. That'll be another tutorial. Here we go.
Great tutorials for
there we go. Yep. For car. Look at me. I'm acting it out with him. You end up, seriously, my family walks through the doors some days. They'll be standing at the door and I'm standing here pulling all these stupid funny faces and gestures and stuff, but I don't care. I love it. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. We want to go up high for cartoon. And using freeform deformation and bone extensions, we can have this character really flex and move around as he does it as well. By the time we finish this, it's going to be it'll be a good tutorial. Here we go. Now I really want him to come back down on the cartoon so he can go up on Animator. Yeah, so for V key, drop in. Yep, look at that, on the 5 again. Here we go. Oh, here's a good tip. If you're working with your gizmo and your gizmo goes off screen and you can't find it, yeah? If you hold down the Alt key and scroll with your mouse wheel, you can find it again. But there's a problem when you do that, and that is, as soon as you do that, it's going to put a keyframe in here on your camera so that now... So now you've got your keyframe on your camera moving. So delete that. Once you find your gizmo and you bring it back to where you want, just delete the keyframe off the camera. You don't need that now. Okay, where were we? Yeah, I want him to come back on cartoon. Cartoon. Yeah. I want him to come back here, almost to the start position. Because it's like he's getting a little bit cocky, like Cartoon Animator. Okay. Too fast. Needs an extra couple of frames. Put in a V key. You can even just drag that on top of it. That's fine. Yep, here we go. And also, this will be good because it'll make his... If I do a fast motion, it'll make his head bobble more and it'll be more effective. Now, this is interesting here. I think these frames need to come back. Oh, look at this. Onto the 5, I'll bet. Oh, look at that. Man, back onto the 5. Here we go. In that case, I'm going to trust my own judgment here and bring that back to 5. Yep. Unbelievable. Now, this time, yeah, I think we'll go up. Can we go back and up or just up? I've got to tilt back a little bit. Come here. Here we go. Yep. Now with Animator, even though the head goes back, there's still that Animator. It's like a little bob, but he's not going to come right back to the beginning. So it's Animator. It'll have a little bob at the back of the head. Watch. Yeah. And because on the bring it down a little tiny bit. Stay on the fives, Gaz. Stay on the fives. Bring that across. Look at this. Oh my lord, was I right at the start? It's all about the fives. This character is all about the fives. I should just trust myself. Here we go.
Cartoon Animator.
Yeah. Animate. Damn it, I'm not even going to count it. We're just doing straight on the 5.
Cartoon Animator.
Yeah, see, now he's got that little animator. It's all trial and error. There's no right and wrong. There's no magical formula from A to Z with this stuff. You know what it is? It's watching videos like this, getting little tips, and then when you're animating, you go, oh, yeah, that's right, I remember this, I remember that. So that's how you're going to learn. Here we go.
Cartoon Animator.
I love his little head bobble. Okay.
Animator.
Now, when he ends, I don't want him to just come back flat. I think we'll have him, because I was talking about having him go up, wasn't I?
Tutorials for Cartoon Animator.
Yeah, okay. He needs to finish because he's making a statement. Ah, look at this. We're off the 5. Where should we be, folks? On the 5. Okay, here we go.
Cartoon Animator.
Yeah, the 5 might be too much. Am I right? Let's have a look.
Animator.
No, too much. Just wants to be a little bit off. Here we go.
Animator.
By the way, my record is I once spent 3 hours on 6 frames of animation to get what I wanted. So I know a lot of people, I'm very fortunate that a lot of people will look at my animations and go, oh, they're really good. Like I want mine to look like that. You know why they look like that? Because I spend 3 hours on 6 frames. Not everybody wants to do that, but I'm extremely pedantic about getting it right. Here we go.
Animator.
Yeah, so that's where we'll finish him up. Okay, let's go back and watch. Now, we've at least got head motion. Let's watch.
Garry Pye makes great tutorials for Cartoon Animator.
Now, I think we've gone long enough on this tutorial. I'm going to stop it there. So this tutorial only focuses on head movement for speech. Okay, that's all we've done. Watch.
Garry Pye makes great tutorials for Cartoon Animator.
Okay. But when it's finished, when the whole video is finished, and we apply all the other tips and tricks that you'll find in the tutorials here from eye motion and blinking and all that type of thing, the end result video will look like this.
Garry Pye makes great tutorials for Cartoon Animator.
For this video, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you at the next one. Bye.